Good morning, folks. Emily Wilmoth, environmental educator with New Jersey Audubon, here at the very rainy Hawkwatch on this Friday morning. Thank you once again for joining us. Can you hear?
Yeah, it's all good.
So, I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the Hawkwatch numbers so far. We have over 23,000 raptors counted from the Cape May Hawkwatch already this season. So we're on track to have some pretty outstanding numbers. Last year, our total number of birds at the end of the season was about 25,000. So we're already just 1,500 or so shy of beating that total, and we still have a month and a half to go of the Hawkwatch. So it's been a pretty spectacular season so far. Today, probably won't be the greatest of days, but Jesse the hawk counter did count some peregrine falcons and some osprey this morning before it really started to rain here. The day before we had about 500 or so birds, and we had a couple thousand plus bird days earlier this week. I want to thank, before I forget, our sponsors, Swarovski Optics and Actions at EBMF for their support of the Hawkwatch. We're going to do things in a little bit of a different order today. I'm going to start with our Raptor of the Week. So our Raptor of the Week this week is, dun-da-da, the Northern Harrier. I have to admit, this is my favorite diurnal migrating raptor that we see here at the Hawkwatch. And I think it's partially because they remind me a lot of owls. And I love owls. So the Harriers, if you got a closer look at their face, you might see it kind of looks like an owl face. And sure enough, their faces are structured just like owls. They have what we call facial discs, these sort of stiff arrangement of feathers, which amplify their hearing. And so they do rely heavily on their eyesight while hunting, but they rely on their hearing as well. So often we'll see them, flying low over the marsh in front of the Hawkwatch, with their wings held up in a dihedral, a V shape, and just kind of teeter-tottering back and forth low over the marsh, listening for small mammals, maybe reptiles and amphibians, any critters crawling around in the marsh that they might catch for food. As I mentioned, they have a V shape to their wings when they're flying low, and they're just really long, broad wings. In addition, they have this super long tail, and all Northern Harriers have this distinctive white rump patch at the base of the tail. There are variation among males and females. So female Northern Harriers are, a brownish color overall, kind of streaky on the front. The adult male Northern Harriers are actually a really beautiful light gray color. And they have a nickname called the Gray Ghost because you see them, again, just sort of floating over the marsh. Just really, really spectacular to see. So we're close to about 500 Northern Harriers migrating through past Cape May this season. We had our record day for this season. A couple days ago, we had 52 Northern Harriers in a single day. So that's super exciting because this is a bird that's struggling a little bit, particularly due to habitat loss. So these guys like to nest in, open areas with sort of low vegetation. So grasslands or wetlands. A lot of grasslands have been, lost to either development or to agricultural fields, and wetlands, like in particular here in South Jersey, have been influenced by rising sea levels. So these guys nest on the ground in these wetlands, and as the water is encroaching, it's eliminating a lot of suitable habitat for these birds to nest. So it's exciting to see good numbers of them coming through, flying past the Hawkwatch. And speaking of critters flying past the Hawkwatch, I want to bring in Kat Colbertson. She is with the Monarch Monitoring Project and has agreed to come and share some information with us today. So hello, Kat. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. So before we get started, could you just give us a little background on what the Monarch Monitoring Project is?
Yeah, so the Monarch Monitoring Project is under the umbrella of New Jersey Audubon here. And we started 30 years ago, looking at how many monarchs are coming through Cape May. Just like the bird, they're funneled through the point here and can sometimes amass in really large numbers. And when the project started, people weren't really sure that monarchs from here in Cape May could make it all the way to Mexico, 2,000 miles away. So our project founder, Dick Walton, wanted to see whether they were actually making it to Mexico. So he started tagging butterflies as well as counting butterflies, and lo and behold, some of them did indeed turn up in Mexico. So to this day, we still continue to count butterflies and tag butterflies here, as well as participate in educational programs such as this one.
Awesome, wonderful. So, Kat mentioned there's sort of two pieces to the Monarch monitoring project. Conducting surveys. So that's one form of research, doing an actual count of the butterflies that are present in an area, and then tagging, she mentioned. So can you share a little bit more about the tagging process of the monarchs?
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, because it's raining today, I couldn't bring a monarch to show you how to tag, but I have a little prop here. Here's a photo of some monarchs. And we'll be catching probably about 2,000 or so monarchs this season in total, between the monarch naturalists and some volunteers that we have, and tagging them to see if they make it to Mexico. So when we catch one of these little butterflies, what we do is we take one of these little tiny stickers that are very small and light. They don't affect the flight of the butterfly at all, and we put it on the left outside hind wing. And then you'll be able to see it when the butterfly's wings are closed, which unfortunately I don't have a picture of. But if they make it to Mexico, then people will see the little sticker on their wing and record that, and I'll record some data here when I tag the butterfly, so people will know where it came from, whether it's male or female. So just like the harriers that Emily just talked about, you can tell the difference between male and female butterflies, the monarch butterflies. The males have this little black patch in the center of the hind wing, and the females don't. So as well as what sex the butterfly is and where it came from, we'll record how much fat it's storing in its abdomen, which is this back part of the body here. And they really need those fat reserves to help power their flight to Mexico and help them to make it through the winter there. So that'll give us a sense of how healthy they are while they're here. And we'll also look at their wing condition. And I have this handy little ruler here, which I'll use to measure the wing length. Of course, we'll use the metric side, the centimeters. We actually measure it in millimeters, which are 1/10 of a centimeter. And that will give us an indicator of how the caterpillar's health was while it was growing, because caterpillars that aren't able to eat enough milkweed, which is their food source, aren't able to grow into as big as butterflies. And if you're not familiar with the monarch caterpillar, here's a photo of one as well. We've had about 100 butterflies so far that we've tagged that were recovered in Mexico. And this is just a little map showing all these butterflies recovered in Mexico, and others have also been recovered along their flight to Mexico. So here we are in Cape May right now, and as they pass down, sometimes people will spot them, take a picture of them perhaps, or catch them and see the little code on the tag and report where they're going on their way to Mexico.
That is really exciting stuff. Thank you for sharing. I have to say, we have almost as many people that come up to the platform excited to see raptors ask about, like, where are the monarchs? Where can I go to see the monarchs? So how has this year compared to past years? And also, why do you think people are so in love with monarch butterflies? What is it about them? What's their allure?
Two really great questions. Well, to start with, the numbers of monarchs that we've counted this year kind of fall in the middle of what we've seen in past years. The population of monarchs is kind of cyclical. Some years there'll be a lot, and then the next year there won't be as many, which is just has to do with predator-prey dynamics. When the number of butterflies goes up, then the number of predators and parasites also goes up, which brings the number of butterflies down the next year. This past week, we had what we call our first big migration peak, which is where a bunch of butterflies will come through all at once, usually because of various weather conditions. It's kind of hard to predict. But we went from seeing maybe 4 to 10 butterflies on each of our census runs, where we go on a 5-mile transect and count how many butterflies we see, to seeing 50, 100, even 150 butterflies just on one of those transects. So we call that the migration wave. As to your other question, I think people are really excited about monarch butterflies because they're so beautiful and we see so many of them here at once. It really creates this super interesting natural phenomenon. People across the country can also connect to monarchs because they see them flying through. Monarchs range all the way from southern Canada here throughout all of the US. So everybody sees them, and when people know about this incredible journey that they're embarking on all the way to Mexico, that can be really inspiring. Think of these little tiny butterflies that are traveling sometimes well over 2,000 miles, 50, 80 miles per day. That's quite a feat even for a human. Imagine walking that far in one day, and these butterflies are doing it for over a month as they travel to Mexico, and many of them really are successful in that as well.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I just continue to be fascinated by the monarch butterfly. Kat, thank you for all that you do, your important research work, and thank you for sharing with us today. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments below. If we don't see them until after the session, we will try our best to answer them. Teachers, parents, if you're looking for additional activities to do with kids, our lesson extensions will be posted along with these videos on the Cape May Hawkwatch page, which you can access through njaudubon.org. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.